Buongiorno. Sorry, that's the last one.
We're in the studio this week. It's James and Curtis. There's no Nick, but we have got another episode of Easy Talk, and we're going to have a bit of a chat, have a bit of a chinwag about a few things. We're not going to run it past Nick and get his thoughts on the script. We're just going to have some fun.
And Nick is our usual script man, so we rocked up today and there was no script and there was no idea what we're talking about, so we're going to wing it.
So it could be a mess. But, James, you've been telling me that there were a few things that you wanted to speak about today, so let's get straight into it.
Well, ironically, the first thing I want to talk about is your kind of vehicle. I've been driving a hatch this week.
Hang on. It's a very loose
Not by
term.
choice.
It's a very loose term when you say it's my kind of vehicle.
It isn't a fully sick hatch,
So,
but it's a hatch.
Continue.
So, my BT happened to have some damage. Not from the camping trip, believe it or not. Just some, you can believe it, some at a car wash decided to nearly take my bull bar off. So that was getting fixed and it took longer than expected. So
Yeah.
I got gifted with the beautiful 2019 Corolla hatch in electric blue.
Well, look, it's close to the RS Blue, I'll give it that.
It didn't seem to have the same go as yours, but yeah.
I was in there when you put the boot down and not much happened.
Yeah, nah. Well, look, coming from a dual cab, it felt quick. But actually, in all seriousness, I was surprised. The car's actually not bad.
No, we did want to say
Yeah.
that it's actually a really comfortable, pretty well featured,
Yeah.
good options. Just a good all-round
It's
daily
a good
car.
drive car. If you're an A to B person, like me, people like yourself and I, we're not really A to B with cars. There's a bit more passion there. But if you just need a run around, I was surprised because when I got handed the keys, I was thinking this is going to be the worst week of my
from
entire
hell.
life. And there were times where I wished I was in a big car because I've never been tailgated and cut off more. I don't know if it happens to you, but in my car, having a four-wheel drive since I turned 18, I've never been cut off. I've been cut off, but rarely happens. Rarely get tailgated because I'm in a bigger car. No one does it. I jumped in this thing and I immediately thought I was going to die because I was underneath everyone's tailgate.
Yeah.
And it was just terrifying. But it was comfy. It was so efficient that it blew my mind. I had to fill up the fuel tank, and I almost had a heart attack when I realized I was spending $40 to fill up a tank. Like,
How many liters did it take? Did you happen to notice?
maybe 40,
I'm
maybe
gonna-
40,
I'm gonna-
50,
I'm
and
gonna
I get
guess-
650,
Yeah.
700 k's out of a tank.
Yeah.
To me, like I get about 780 to 800 out of a bigger tank, but it was a refreshing because I don't really get the chance to drive anything other than mine.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was. I thought just a good thing to bring up that I drove it.
Yeah, great. Well, look, watch out for when the full review on the Corolla does come. But we'll stick with Toyota because you've also been telling me about something that I don't know a whole lot about, but I'm interested.
Yep.
Land Cruisers.
Yes.
What's going on?
So a lot of four-wheel drive enthusiasts know that the 200 series has been the big flagship boat that the Land Cruiser has always been brought out.
Yep.
And that's coming to an end. Well, that has come to an end. They're not building the V8
I hear it's
twin
very
turbo.
hard to get one.
Yeah, well, the average selling price at the moment is about 20 grand more than retail. So to get a twin turbo V8 200 series is borderline impossible unless you're forking out drug money.
And we've just seen over the last few weeks prices on Holdens and V8s and Aussie cars, and you kind of think, okay, Holden's closed. These are Australian muscle cars. I get that, and now it's happening to Land Cruisers as well. It's crazy.
What is crazy to you, I didn't think was that crazy.
Okay.
I've been saying for a long time it would be probably a good investment to buy yourself a 200, if you could afford it, obviously, to buy yourself a 200 series. And I've said that for the last 2-3 years as soon as I heard about the 300 coming. And the way that things are going, they're decreasing size of the engine, don't like the big thirsty V8s, the big diesels, the big... Like they're starting to cut that out, and I thought that car's gonna go, and circumstances come up, and like the Maloo, and it just went through the roof. But it's also, in your world, it's not really that iconic of a car, but in the four-wheel drive industry, it is.
It's a bit of a big deal.
It's the top of the top. I mean, it's not the most capable car because it's so big, but it is the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
and discontinuing that V8 has rustled a lot of feathers because Australia as a country likes V8s.
Well, look, what I can kind of see the similarities with is just the way that the car industry is heading. Hot hatches are changing. There's no more. Take my model for example, or my car, the RS, the new Ford Focus. They're not making an RS because it would be too hard to tick the emission targets while also making the performance they want for a reasonable price.
Yeah,
and that's happening to a few other manufacturers. So it's also happening in the whole car industry.
Exactly.
And the Land Cruiser is just another example. So you were telling me about some rumours of the 300.
So
what are the things you've been hearing?
I've read a few articles and heard around that they're thinking about bringing in a 3.5 litre V6 twin turbo. So it's not that small of a change in engine.
No.
But
sounds good.
But more than likely going to be petrol.
Right.
So the way I look at this is that I think I wrote an article about it, may have not have, but if you're buying a car like that, and it's very often that people travel some long distances in these cars, you're not finding petrol in the middle of the Pilbara. Like,
no, I remember you did write an article on that.
And I just think that's it's not. The way you got to weigh it up as well is how many people are buying them to go travelling and how many people are buying them because they're a comfortable driver in a car, which they are. So obviously Toyota knows that and they're making that balancing act, but I'm pretty sure it's coming out in petrol. But there's also rumours going around that as a solace, Toyota is going to contemplate bringing it as a V6 diesel. But so it's not set in stone whether or not it's going to be petrol or diesel. But the reason those rumours are gaining traction is because the Lexus, obviously Toyota Lexus, same. But their flagship comparison of the 300 series has that V6 twin turbo petrol engine that's 300. It has 300 kilowatts.
Okay, so they're going to just take that, put it in the Land Cruiser.
Yeah, that's sort of what people are thinking. The direction it's going to go, and I don't know. I'm split in two minds. I didn't see anything wrong with the previous engine, but obviously, like you said, it's all going that way. It's all downsizing.
Well, look. It's very interesting, and it's just something we wanted to talk about today, to really look at the changing landscape of cars, and not only new cars, but what it's like, the new cars that are coming out, but what that's doing to the current models or to the just previous models. The used car market's going nuts. That's a topic that we'll cover in another video.
Yeah, absolutely, because that's insane at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. But look, I was interested to hear particularly about the Land Cruiser. So look, it's been great to chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to everyone, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video, and give us a like. And look, we'll be back with some more interesting car content soon.
And also let us know what content you actually are most interested in, because we were just talking before, we've got a lot of love on the Monaro video, the GTO GTO video, which we obviously expected a bit of love for the car, but we didn't expect that much. So if you just let us know what you're into and what you want to see, we're more than happy to bend over backwards to try and bring that content.
We'll create the content that people want to see.
Exactly, absolutely. So can't wait to talk to you next time with Nick, and that'll be us.
Until then,
no worries. Catch you later,
guys.